What is going on, miners, and welcome back to the Hobbyist Miner channel. Well, I thought today we'd talk about one of the two major pain points of GPU mining or crypto mining in general, and that is electricity cost. So today we're going to go through all of my electricity cost and full transparency, look at my electric bill, look at what I pay, what I paid, and now how I ended up actually cutting my electricity bill down and then also increasing the watts that I'm putting out, which doesn't make sense, right? I've increased the amount of GPUs I'm running, I've increased my total overall watts, but why has my electricity bill dropped? I'm going to show you guys what I did to do that and provide you guys more details. So before we get into that, let's take a look at the watts that we're using. So this rack here connects to a PDU down here, and this PDU goes in the back. Let's see if I can get a better angle here. Come on, where are you at? Oh, it's not gonna focus. Dang it. Okay, well, this is a 30 amp 240 volt, and it is doing about 1600 watts total on this rig right here, which has the, what we got, 5, 6, 7, or I'm sorry, 6 580s and 1 590. It also has a bunch of variety of different cards over here as well, all doing Ethereum and some Flux. This rig here is the 1060s, as well as the 1080s and also 1660 Ti's. This one's going to be a little bit easier. And this one here is doing 1,290-ish, give or take. And that's another 30 amp 240 volt. And then over here, this runs out to our grow tent, and this is doing about 2,500 watts total. Let's go out there. I'll show you guys what we have if you guys haven't seen my grow tent setup before. We got some goodies over here as well. Some future video stuff coming up here. All right. So, in our grow tent, we have 11 470s and 1 570, as well as our pride and joys here. These are the R9 380s. These are our mining, half of these are Raven Coin and half are Ergo, and these are all Ethereum Classic down here. All right, let's go ahead and get this zippered back up. All right, cool. So let's head back to our studio office setup here, and we're going to go ahead and jump on the computer. We're going to get into a variety of different things. What my electric bill was the last few months and kind of show you guys where it's been. I currently have solar. Show you guys what we've made over solar. How solar is, traditional residential solar is not going to go ahead and substitute out your entire electric bill. But it helps, which is great. And then show you guys what I did to change up some of my electricity plan, and shopping your electricity distributor and generator, and how I ended up cutting down my electric bill significantly. So let's go ahead and jump onto the computer. Okay, so now that we've gone ahead and kind of showed you our rigs and everything we got going on, I thought I'd show you the HIVEOS side of it, just so you guys can see everything going on here. So in HIVEOS, it says we're using 3.7, but in reality, we're probably around 5.5 actually. If we come in here though, you can see a variety of different rigs. Some of these rigs are offline. They don't have any GPUs on them, so I don't have them online. So our Tryout rig here is the 470s and 570s. That one, HIVEOS says we're using 838, which we're definitely using a lot more. In addition to that, in that same grow tent is our Phoenix rig, which is our 380s, and that says we're using 597, and those are the R9 380s. We then have our 580 and 590 rig here. It's got one 590 in it, and the rest are 580s. We also have our Wolverine rig, which is a variety of different things got going on. One card or two cards are mining Ethereum, our 1660 Ti's, and then we actually have a 3060, 3060 Ti, 2060, and a 1070 Ti mining Flux currently right now. Flux is popping off. Finally, our Juggernaut rig is a variety of different things, but mostly 1060s, 1080s, and 1660 Ti's as well. Okay guys, so let's talk about solar. So I am going to try to not disclose any personal information as we get into this with like address or names. So some things might be blurred out, some things won't. I do apologize, but thank you for understanding. So about 2 years ago, my wife and I went ahead and decided to do solar. In order to do solar, we did solar through a company called Sunrun, a well-known company in the United States. In order for us to do solar, though, my local power company required us to have 12 months of electricity bills. So that being said, we couldn't get solar right away. We had to wait because they don't let you just do as much solar as you want. Unfortunately, there's a lot of politics and lobbying that is involved with that, especially within Pennsylvania. So in Pennsylvania, at that time, about 2 years ago, you could only get 110% of your monthly usage. So after 12 months, they came back and said that we could do a 13 kilowatt system, which is 48 panels total on my roof. It's on the front of my house, it's on the front of my garage, and it's on the back of my garage, the way that it faces. So that being said, let's take a look real quick at what solar makes me per month, because this isn't on my electricity bill. And so let's take a look at that real quick. And I laugh because you'll see in a second. So this is what my solar makes me in the last 30 days, but I think what paints a really good picture is the last 12 months. So in the last 12 months, you guys can see, you know, on the left-hand side, a 1750 at the peak. And then each month you can see that it really varies as to how much it produces. Solar isn't consistent. It varies based off the time of year and the strength of the sun. And so you can see in Pennsylvania, March, April, May, June, July, August, September are really kind of some good solar productive months. At my peak in May, we were at like 1750, which is great. 1750 is plenty if you're not mining. So when I got my solar system, I was not mining. So I was putting feeding electricity back in the grid, and I was getting credit from the power company. It was awesome. That has not happened in quite a while, and you'll see that on my electric bills in just a second. So that being said, last month, September, 1284. Let's round up to 1300. Everything on my electric bill, like I'm using all of this up now. None of it is getting fed back into the grid at all. So for me, everything we see on my electric bill is that this is how many watts I used in that month. Add on what I made in solar. So in this case, September, 1284. So 1300, let's say. So 1300 more was substituted out, which really isn't that much when we're talking about 5,000 to 6,000 watts. So that being said, let's go ahead and jump over and look at our electricity bill history. Okay, so let's look at our history here. And I know this is a little long-winded. I'm going to try my best, but I feel like there's a lot of really good information that we're providing. So as you guys can see, over the last several months, my electricity bill has grown. I started mining back in February. Okay, so my electricity bill is about 150. Then it went to 72. Well, if you guys remember, look at the energy usage. We go from 1170 to 492. March is when I start to produce more solar. So at that point, my solar was really helping me out. As we move on to April, remember we were just talking about it? Right over here. Look, April, looking great. You know, we're starting to really make electricity there. At the same time, we're also growing our farm. So now we get into May, and look how things are starting to turn. Okay, my usage is going up. Now this is the usage. This is my usage already minus what I had produced. So 1078 plus what I produced in May, May. So now I'm at 140. Well, now we're going up even more, 2345. So if you look at June, let's say 2345, and we go back here to June, it's 2345 plus I also used up 1743. So that's the stuff you have to keep in mind, is like, this does not equate to that. So now let's get into August. I was at $368.50. So I was at 3,017 kilowatts. Now if I go, that was July. And if I come over here, I also am almost at my peak at 16. So let's to round things up. That was 3,000 plus another 1,000. So 46, so 40, I'll say 4,700 watts. Okay. And I was paying $368.50. And this was the time that I decided I need to find some more alternatives. The solar was helping out a decent amount, but I need to find some better opportunities. So let's look at that electric bill, see what I was paying and break it down a little bit more, because if you're a miner, you need to understand your electric bill inside and out. So, okay, so I wanted to show this to you guys. If you are a miner, if you are someone interested in mining, you really need to look at this, because the electricity cost is through the roof to mine. Your biggest expense mining is not your hardware, I would say. It is actually the expense of electricity. So as you can see here, we have 2020 versus 2021. Look at that difference there. Oh my gosh, it's crazy. But this is stuff that you really need to know about, that you like, let's be honest, like, let's be clearly honest here. And you can see that where things really started to cost the most for me. Okay, so let's look at our electricity bill here. This was from 2 months ago. So this is before I made any changes at all. And I thought this was really important to share with you guys. So as you can see in the upper left-hand corner, we received from our power company 3,189 kilowatt hours. Okay. We only put back into the system 172. Now, we made a lot more. We talked about this. We made upwards of like 1,400, 1,700, somewhere around there. But PPL, my power company, doesn't see that. They just see what was it, what was like net metering, what was put back into the system, which was barely anything outside of that time period. So they billed me for $3,017. Or I'm sorry, $3,017. Okay, got it? Good. Now, looking over at your bill, when you guys are looking at calculating out, like, you know, when you go to what to mine and you want to calculate out, you know, in this field, you want to calculate exactly, you know, what you'd make on a GPU. You need to calculate 3 different numbers. Our first number, which is 4.33, which is the distribution charge. You then need to add your transmission charge, 2.45. And then finally, your generation charge. Okay, so my electricity cost when I go to what to mine. So let me go to what to mine real quick. Okay, so when you're on what to mine, in the bottom right-hand corner, you have cost. You need to make sure that you're putting this in. If you're not putting this in, the numbers that you're getting down here will not be accurate. So your electricity cost needs to go down here. So for me, it was 11 cents. That's what I was paying at that time. So if I go back to my electric bill there, I was at 11 cents. And so in Pennsylvania, you can shop the bottom half. So this area right here in blue, you can shop it to different providers out there. The top half, you cannot, the distribution, you cannot shop. You are locked in with where you live. But the bottom half, you can shop. Well, I cut my bottom half from $227.60 down to $69. Pretty crazy, huh? And it's going to stay that way. So let's talk about that. Okay, so in Pennsylvania, and most states out there have this, you have a PA power switch, or whatever state you're in, papowerswitch.com. They made this legal several years ago regarding the fact of being able to rate shop to keep the power cost down and keep competition active. So if you come over to a site like this, I'm going to pick a random city. Let me pick Pittsburgh. I had to pause my recording and make sure this option was available in Pittsburgh. I'm not in Pittsburgh, as many of you guys know. I'm not from that area. But anyways, I Googled the zip code for Pittsburgh, okay? 15106. So now once you come in here, you select your whoever provides your service. Out here in Pittsburgh, it's a little bit different, but that's okay. In my situation, was PPL Electric was what my option was here. Okay. Once you come here, you have a few different options. Okay. You can look at a fixed rate. Think of this like your mortgage. You have fixed rate, awesome. A variable rate, which is always changing, which can work in your favor and not work in your favor. But take a look at this new option. Unlimited rate results. My spidey sense went off as a miner when I saw this. And I went, there isn't a chance in hell that this is possible. Well, let's look at it. So I came in here and I saw Astral Energy. First thing. Look at this. Cost per kilowatt, 0. $19 a month. You want to see some other cool stuff in that? Monthly fee, no. And term end date, no. Enrollment fee, no. Length of time, 6 months. Cancellation fee, 25 bucks. Okay. All right. Let's look what else they have here. You have another one here, Inspire. And then WGL Energy Services. So the way these work is, you see how all of these unlimited ones have learn more about this? Let's click on it. So it's a little bit of fine print. Limited time offer, Astral Energy Unlimited Power Plan. Provides you with a unique, all-inclusive, customized, flat monthly price for electricity supply, no matter how much electricity you use. UPP price offerings start as low as $19.99, but every customer is quoted a unique price to best meet their energy needs, based on their energy usage history and other factors. So you can kind of look through this a little bit here and get some more details. So I went ahead, I reached out to them through this method, and Astral Energy got back to me, and based off my usage from the month before, which was what I had sent them, I had sent them this electricity bill, and which was $3,017 or 3,017 kilowatt hours. They came back to me and priced me at $99 a month. And I was like, that's still really good. Granted, right here, $99 a month would replace $227.60. Pretty dang good. Okay. But then I came down and I shopped WGL services. And I did a little learn more on there. And I kind of went through here and learned a decent amount, you know, about their services. And I went ahead and submitted it to them. And I heard back within a week. So they got back to me, and their price was $69.99 a month. And I was like, this is unreal. The other thing is they really push this renewable energy. And if you read a little bit more on their site, all their energy is solar, or it is wind energy, which was pretty cool. You know, green energy. I like it. I like it. I like it. So that being said, I went ahead and did some digging on their website and found that you are good at your rate until you double your original amount. Once you double your original amount, then they have the option to renegotiate that price if needed. So I need to keep that in mind as I continue to move forward. But let's see how impactful that was. So if I go back over to my history, and you guys can see that in the next bill, it was a little bit less because I was only partially using this new using WGL. And then finally, my latest bill was totally on this new solution, and you can see it was $392. So we went up in our energy use. I mean, you can see it plain simple right there. But we went down in the amount we owed for electricity. So let's go ahead and take a look at this bill. Okay, bear with me here. They redesigned their bill structure the way it looks. So the area on the left is the shoppable area, and the area on the right is the locked in coming right from PPL. So remember the top area that we were looking at on our old bill? That area is on the right hand side now. So that was $230.93. So that's gone up because our total usage has gone up. Look at it. We were at 3,017, right? Now we're at 5,221. Okay. On the left-hand side, this was that $227. This was the bottom area of our first bill that we were looking at. This was down to $69. So our watts went up and our PPL cost went up, of course, but to go ahead and balance that, our supply cost is now locked in, which is awesome, $69.99. So this is kind of something to help you compare at as to where we are. This is right here, putting us at 0.07544. Which gives you an idea, and this number isn't even entirely accurate when you go ahead and break it down to give you the total numbers there. So if we truly want to get a proper number to actually put into what to mine when we're trying to determine what we do and don't mine, what we end up wanting to do is taking the total, other way around. So 392 divided by 520. Yeah, there we go. So in reality now, our electricity cost is no longer 11 cents. It's now 0.057. Let that sink in a little bit. That is an insane amount of savings right there. It's now 5 cents. A little bit closer. 0.7 whatever cents there. But 5 cents, you can round that to 6. But now we're paying 6 cents because of this avenue that we went, which is insane when it comes down to the savings that we're now getting from doing something like this. This unlimited option that we see is something super new. I have come in here multiple times a year and never seen this. And now this is starting to become a thing. And I am so thankful as a miner. I honestly didn't want to make a video on this until I had 1 full month under my belt, because I wanted to make sure it was believable and that it wasn't an entire scam. Now, once I will double my electricity, and once I reach that, I'm eager to see what it costs me. But even then, it's this solution. Let's say they bump it up another 50 bucks. So now I'm like at $100 or $120 a month for unlimited. That's still significantly cheaper than where I was previously at $227, which is a huge home run. Well, guys, that's it for today. I'm sorry for how long-winded this went. Hopefully you guys gained some knowledge off of this and found a way to save you guys some money. Solar is not the end all. As I said, my solar is only making me at its peak about $1,700 a month. That's not going to offset $6,000 of your usage every month. So solar is not the end all. Please don't plan for your solar to be the end all. I would need a massive solar array in order to get by with that. That's just not a thing. So you need to find some alternatives. This is one of them. Do your research. Maybe this is and isn't available in your area. See what you can do. I've heard some people reaching out to their power companies and negotiating a lower rate. As long as you continue to use X, they will provide you a lower rate. Some require you to set up like a business in order to do it. So lots of options out there. Anyways, guys, if you guys enjoyed this video, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe. Take care.